Hello everyone, welcome to Rahu Karmas in all signs. Rahu is the north node of the moon, the most deceptive and the most difficult placement to know in your chart by sign. He is the cause of your rebirth, the exact desire which brought you into this incarnation. But Rahu is the master of illusion, the master of deceit, and this is the problem when we try to understand the karmas we carry where Rahu is by sign, everybody. We can become confused. We can even become deceived by our own actions, by our own impulses. Let me try to unpick this for you on this video. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Great to have you on board. And if the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up and let's go. Who then is Rahu? We need to truly understand this because everyone, there's a lot of confusion, particularly in the Western system. So don't miss this because this will explain everything else I talk about in the signs. Let's dig a little deeper. See, Rahu, we understand, is like the head of a snake, the actual snake demon known as Swabhanu, who at the beginning of creation, in the churning of the ocean, in these Vedic literatures we understand, attempted to take away the nectar of immortality that was meant for the pure beings, devas, not for demoniac beings, of which he was. By this deception, he was found out and basically he was beheaded by the supreme being in the form of Mohini. And from this story, we understand completely Rahu's power of deception. He was in disguise. He was able to deceive those around him. And this is what he will try to do by his placement in sign. This is the first thing we need to clearly understand. Wherever he is by sign, he's going to play havoc there, everybody. He's going to cause a great deal of disturbance. So by what I've just explained to you, you can see how difficult it is to clearly perceive Rahu's karmas by sign. It's like a mirage in the desert. It seems to be clear and then it becomes hazy again. We can easily fall into a big trap wherever Rahu is by sign. You have to be clear that Rahu's job description, if you like, is to keep us taking birth, is to make sure that we do not go towards Ketu, that we do not get freedom, liberation, and happiness. He wants us to stay in the false illusion of this world, and he will do everything, absolutely everything, to make sure that happens. And be very clear, to fulfill past life desire, he has got a definite drama set out for you. In that sign and house, he's got the whole production set up. Stage is there, lighting is there, costumes are there, people are ready to come on set, left, right, center, take a part of this drama. But be clear, it will be exciting, maybe thrilling, depending on the sign and house. Other planets are there, definitely be very involved, but it will cause you a lot of difficulty. It will be the area of your life where nothing stays steady, where nothing makes sense for long. See, Rahu is all head, ever expanding desire. He's eating all the time, getting from this world, but he's never satisfied whatever he gets. All our desires are increasing wherever Rahu is in our chart. Don't forget, Rahu is the darkness. Rahu is the tamas, ignorance. And whatever sign and house he's in, he has brought darkness and ignorance there. No wonder we are confused. No wonder half the time we don't know what on earth is going on in that area of our horoscope. It's like we are literally dancing in the dark, as they say. By the way, Rahu rules Saturday night. We all know in some places what goes on Saturday night. That's when Rahu is really waiting for us, waiting to trap us. The other reason why it's difficult is that Rahu gives success like no other planet. No one will give you the successes of this world. Power, fame, riches, wealth, stardom, brilliance, whatever it is you are looking for, you are dreaming of. Rahu can give that like a magician. He can just wave his wand and there it is. But there again, very often be aware, whatever is given purely from Rahu karmas in your charts, that will be taken away. At the end, it will be seen to be what it is, an illusion, a mirage, nothing which you expected it to be. But don't forget, Rahu is all intelligence, all head, the most brilliant mind. And he gets control of our mind because he is the north node of the moon, which is the mind. So when he pulls inevitably the rug from under our feet, he will tempt us. He's the greatest tempter. That's his second program, to tempt us into unethical action. He will use whatever means he has to get us into that position. Just a little bit of underhand, undercover work, shortcuts, dishonesty, cheating. It can be big or it can be small, but Rahu will surely get us that way. So in truth, everybody, there are no really good sign placements for Rahu. There is no sign Rahu's karmas become good, but they do become strong. Strong is a different factor. Strong in your life is not necessarily favorable to you. We have to see Rahu for what he is. And this has become quite difficult, everybody, because in astrology, once again, particularly Western astrology, but it has seeped now into Vedic system, they are telling you, astrologers will be telling you, Rahu is something that you may be a little bit afraid of, but that's okay. Go towards Rahu. Rahu is good for you. Ketu, old, finished, stale, leave it behind. This is a total Rahu illusion. Don't fall for this. On the other hand, it's very true, we will be drawn towards the house and sign of Rahu. We cannot avoid it. Not because that is a good place, good situation for us, but because there is karmas there, desires that we have to fulfill. We have to face them squarely, honestly. As I've just explained to you, Rahu's got the whole drama set out for you. The whole stage is set, waiting for you to enter center stage. Cannot avoid wherever Rahu is, house and sign definitely, but we should engage with those karmas with awareness, everybody. And here's the other big secret. What helps us see Rahu, see through the deception, the illusion, is Ketu. Only Ketu has the deep intuition to help us. Never leave behind Ketu. Ketu will stabilize us, help us to deal with these Rahu karmas, most definitely. Now, a question often asked, what is the difference between the sign and the house of Rahu? They can seem indistinguishable sometimes, but there is a key difference. The sign of Rahu, Rahu's Rasi or sign placement is your desire, is why you took birth. Those experiences you're going to have to face. But the house is the actual circumstances where you will go to experience them. That's the thing. Say, for example, you got Rahu Scorpio. It's going to make you quite intense, secretive, give you some tendency towards manipulation, a bit of undercover work maybe. But say it's in your 10th house as well as being in Scorpio. So this is going to manifest in your career status, job situation. It's going to be very much about how you do your work in this world. So you have to combine the two. Check out also the videos already on my channel, Rahu's placement by house. There's a whole playlist. I will put the link below this video and at the end for you. I've done the whole Rahu Ketu axis quite a long time ago for you when I started my channel. But very soon as well, I'm going to be doing Rahu in every house individually for you, going through a lot more detail, particularly of the aspects. So watch out for that. And very important, never forget Rahu's Dispositor, the Lord of the sign. Where is Rahu in your chart? If he's in Aries, watch Mars, Taurus, Venus, and even the Moon. I will go through this as I go through the signs because the Dispositor of Rahu will give the final result. Sign and house you will definitely recognize karmas happening in your life. But what will be the final result of it all? Only the Dispositor of Rahu, Lord of Rahu's sign, will show you that. Look at it carefully in your chart. And indeed, I've seen, watch carefully, the Mahadasha of Rahu's Dispositor, also called Rahu Pati, because this Lord, this planet will most definitely give you disturbance in Mahadasha. And you may be thinking, why is this happening? So well placed, good sign, all the rest of it. It's because it is giving you the result of the Rahu karmas. Definitely take a remedy when you are in Mahadasha or even sometimes Bhukti of the Dispositor of Rahu in your chart. Check the end of the video. How to use the readings, a few points, everybody. First of all, make sure you got a Vedic horoscope. Do not use Western tropical zodiac because those signs, tropical signs, do not carry karmas from lifetime to lifetime. They're shifting. They are not carrying the karmas that are affecting you through Rahu. If you're unsure about your Vedic sidereal horoscope, please check the link at the bottom of my description box to a website, Devaguru. Put in your birth data and bring up the sign position of Rahu, the North Node. Next, you must definitely read not just in your birth chart, but if you've got your Vedic horoscope and you have Navamsa, read the D9 Navamsa sign position as well. What's the difference? Here it is. D1 is your birth chart. It's going to show you those karmas coming right down, that desire which brought you into this incarnation by the sign. And the D9 shows the manifestation of that desire, the destiny result that you will get. So read both signs, definitely D1, D9, I would advise. And very importantly, if you have Rahu at the beginning degrees or the end degrees of any sidereal sign, you must use the mean node to make sure you've got the right sign. So however you're bringing up your chart, everybody, be very careful that you check the settings to make sure they are set to the mean node. It makes an incredible difference. Even all the Virgo charts will change. I'll do a video pretty soon, everybody, showing you that definitely mean node is the way to go and definitely why true node is not so true. Another one of Rahu's smoke and illusions. Rahu in Aries is strong and very, very powerful to influence your life. It's like a whole new beginning. Rahu, north node of the moon, has got a power surge when he's in Aries. You're going to be a total initiator in this life because that is your desire. The desire that you've taken birth is to lead, is to initiate, is to start new things under your own independent steam. This is your deepest desire. And although Mangala can inflame Rahu, together they actually, in this sign of Aries, have the power to fight off difficult situations. You will always be able to overcome difficulty because Mars and Rahu in this Aries combination, not conjunctions, but influencing you through Rahu, it gives you a great deal of help. It's going to help you survive many traumas, many difficulties, come out stronger, more potent than ever. On the other hand, the factor is that the South Node or Ketu is in Libra. What you're good at is negotiating, getting into partnerships, business partnerships definitely may be very tempting. You want to work with other people. You don't really want to work alone. That's the other factor. And depending if you have more planets either with Ketu, Rahu, either way will go for you. If you have planets with North Node Rahu, you are drawn to a more independent way this lifetime. If you have more with Ketu, you'll be drawn back into relationships, karmic partnerships, which you have to fulfill. But here's a difficulty with this Rahu Aries: impulsivity, impatience, pushing through, not wanting to wait, wanting to get on with things now. You're not the most patient person. You become easily irritable, easily on edge. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it will put you into situations where you are tempted to take shortcuts, especially when there is affliction to this Rahu. Be careful. It's a definite trap. So being business person, being entrepreneur, doing things under your own steam, definitely Rahu will support you in this. This was your desire. But Rahu's obsession is onto Libra. Libra means relationships. You see, Ketu Libra, you know how to please. You know how to please people, bring people onto your side. You're a very good negotiator, diplomat, this sort of thing. And these skills are important, that you do not drop them. Do not let them go, running off on your own, leaving other people behind will not fulfill you in this lifetime. It's the trap set by Rahu, of course. Yes, you will have independence initiative, but you need to consult. You need to keep on consulting, bringing people with you. But finding the right partner can be difficult when you have Rahu Aries. You can be very lusty sometimes because Rahu's desire has gone onto a Venus sign. He can be full of desire, sexuality. You can have love affairs. You can have difficult relationships. All sorts of entanglements can occur because Rahu in Aries is just going to put you into these impulsive situations. The truth is that Rahu in Aries doesn't trust others fully. That's the thing. Difficult relationship karmas are still there for you. You still feel that you just can't trust other people fully. So you keep on pushing on your own way. Okay, you don't want to do things with me this way. Bye-bye. Off you go. You've no patience to see relationships through. But in the end, A very special partnership will be there. You're going to find someone who supports you, gives you what you need, someone who definitely has your back. But you're going to go through a very difficult trial and error situation getting to there, depending on, of course, planets conjuncting either to Rahu or to Ketu in your chart. That's how you can judge. And it will all depend on the strength of Mars in your chart. Stronger is Mars, you will overcome conflicts with other people. You will get your way. You will find the partner you desire most. You will get success in your life through your independence and initiative. Big challenge in that area of your life, wherever Rahu Aries is to be a little bit softer, a little bit kinder, a little bit more patient there, because, as I say, you don't trust others easily, but you can also be a little bit harsh, a little bit judgmental, something you have to be aware of. You don't always appreciate other people there for you. That's the thing. You don't always give them credit due, and this can actually cause relationship difficulties for you. But eventually you will soften up. You will learn these lessons. You will see that the more you push on blindly, the more you can entrap yourself. Wait a little bit. People are there with you. Take them along. That's the key. When Rahu's in the sign of Taurus, he's in a sign of extreme strength. He's in a position of strength, not exactly exaltation, but complete strength. Why? Because here he can really enjoy all of the material pleasures. Taurus is the face, second sign, where you have eyes, mouth, ears, all of the pleasures are here. All of the material sensations are going to bombard Rahu through Taurus. And Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so Rahu gets power, gets stability here to get on with his process of enjoyment, of eating, of gaining material sensations and pleasure. He can store up a lot of wealth here, a lot of material resources. But what have you come here for? What is your desire to be born with this Rahu Taurus? Did you come here just to get wealth, just to get material enjoyment? Somewhat, but really what you've come for is stability. This is the deep desire. Rahu in Taurus is seeking stability in this lifetime. In fact, it might be fairer to say what you're looking for is security. Stability, yes, but security. Why? Because Ketu, past life experience, is in Scorpio. You've had chaos, transformation, no stability, no security. Now you are desperately seeking that. It's your deepest desire. Rahu Taurus is ingenious, storing wealth, saving wealth, growing wealth. Business person, definitely. Just employed person, excellent. Because Venus and the moon have to be checked, of course. If they are strong, wealth will definitely grow. You will be a much wealthier person when you die than perhaps you were, some of you, at the beginning of your life. This is commonly seen. And you're very security minded, as I say, so you don't like to be unemployed, don't like to be wasting your time because you are not storing up resources. That's the point. Now, Taurus is a very family-orientated sign, but Rahu, as I say, plays havoc in the sign. So family security, family happiness can be disturbed when you have Rahu in Taurus. But who's disturbing it? You are. You are doing it. You are not happy in your family of origin. Don't feel settled there. Want to change things. Want to have a whole different culture, a whole different environment. Something such as that. You feel restless, ill at ease because of this Ketu Scorpio, making you challenge everything around you. But here's the big karmic dilemma. Rahu will give you your desire, wealth, security, stability, job, all of that. But you yourself will challenge it through Scorpio. You'll be consistently challenging everything stable in your life, transforming everything, even going into dangerous, challenging situations, risk-taking situations. You want the stability, but you don't quite know how to deal with it. That's the thing. And the truth is, sometimes people don't know how to deal with you either because they think that you have some hidden agenda. You do. Because of Ketu's Scorpio factor, you can be very secretive. Surprisingly, with this Rahu Taurus, you can be secretive, keeping a little bit under your sleeve just in case. So you might trust other people, but they're not always sure of you. Something to be aware of. Depending how Rahu is in your chart, you can be a very overindulgent person, particularly about food. People with this Rahu Taurus often have a big thing about food in their life. Rahu in Taurus makes you a very artistic person, very tactile person, very talented in some artistic sense as well. Once again, money, wealth can actually come from this talent in some cases. The big lesson, though, about Rahu Taurus is not to become a hoarder, not to be holding on to things, not to be cluttering everything up in your life. Or Rahu will simply pull out the rug and take it all away. That's a sort of extreme thing he can do sometimes. So clean out the cupboards, clean out the properties, don't hoard, don't hold on to things out of insecurity. And then Rahu is powerful here to keep things going for you. But nonetheless, there will be some time in your life when some of this control, some of this security will be tested. Get ready for that. Be prepared. Get your inner strength strong, because don't forget, Ketu Scorpio shows you had inner strength past life, tremendous inner strength, tremendous resourcefulness. Hold on to it, never lose it. When Rahu's in Gemini, he's in a completely exalted position. His true sense of joy and happiness, as it were, comes when he's in this sign. He feels as though the sky is the limit. There is nothing he cannot accomplish when he's in this sign, and he will give that feeling to you. Rahu is an air planet. He has a lot of vata. He is all Vayu energy, and this is an air sign. So Rahu's intelligence, manipulation, wit, and guile almost comes to great fruition when he's in Gemini. Now, Rahu represents intelligence. A great deal of wit, ability can be here in this sign. You can have academic brilliance, definitely, or you can just be very, very streetwise, very, very able to deal with difficult situations. You are never lost for a way out of any situation. You are sometimes completely ingenious with this placement. Great communication skill is here. I mean, really brilliant, charismatic communication can be there. And that sums up the desire. Your desire taking birth with this Rahu Gemini is to communicate knowledge. You got knowledge last life. You got a great deal of wisdom because Ketu is in his exalted state, Sagittarius. Now you have come to talk about it, write about it, spread it around. On the other hand, equally so, desire is just to entertain others. Desire is to get attention of other people because you just want to make them happy. You have the ability to spread joy, to spread inspiration to other people. Your communication skill, your style of communication, your wit and your presence even inspires other people. They literally put onto you their ideal. Don't forget, Rahu is smoke and illusion. Rahu is exalted in this sign. People's Rahu is attracted to your Rahu here. People see in you what they want to see, not necessarily what you are. That's another secret. So you can be actor, entertainer, artist, journalist, writer, blogger, media person, anything. Where you are with the public, entertaining them, giving them information in some way, you can thrive. In fact, politicians, leaders of all sorts with this Rahu Gemini get extreme popularity, even without doing very much, just by who they are. People are attracted to them, definitely attracted to the way they express ideas. See, Gemini is about society, mixing with people. Rahu wants to be in society when he's in Gemini. You like to seduce, attract people to you, and you will more than likely have a great talent doing that when you have Rahu in this sign. And it will just happen naturally. You won't even be making a real effort towards it. Let me be seductive. Let me be charming. You're just naturally that way. Most of the time, you don't even understand why people are so attracted to you. I've seen this as well. And by your skill, charisma, communication ability, all of this, on your excellent intelligence, Rahu in Gemini makes you a popular person. Once again, it's just a natural phenomena. People are attracted to you, seduced by you. Sometimes you can have many fans, many followers, whatever your occupation, wherever you are in life. People definitely follow you and support you. You've got quite a lot actually to live up to, or when you have Rahu in Gemini. But do people really know you? Do they really know who you are inside? Probably not. Surface-wise, they are attracted to you. When they get closer to you, they'll probably find that you're a little bit different to how you appear outwardly. What's the thing? Well, first of all, you don't have a very strong attention span. You spread yourself thin. You can be a very difficult person to actually be around because you are actually always changing direction. That's another thing. The end result, though, of this Rahu Gemini placement, favourable though it is, will depend on the strength of Mercury. Stronger is Mercury unafflicted, the better you will make of this excellent placement as far as Rahu is concerned, materially that is. But don't forget, Ketu is in a Jupiter sign. Jupiter is enemy to Rahu. Jupiter spreads the light of truth on Rahu. Spouse sees you as you are. Partners see you as you are, and you don't often like this. They see behind the veil. They see behind public image. You might find this very, very difficult. Relationships can be difficult sometimes when you have Rahu in Gemini, I've seen. Now, depending on planets with Rahu, with Ketu, this will change the whole thing, but there is a duality coming into relationships here. Gemini is about meeting, greeting, and Gemini is about sexuality. Sexuality, love affairs, attractions become a big thing in the life of anybody with this Rahu Gemini. How it's going to go for you, you have to see. Planets conjuncting Rahu, the more affliction, the more trouble. And definitely see what Mercury's doing. Any Venus conjunctions to Mercury or to this Rahu-Ketu combination in your chart, there's going to be a few compromising situations, definitely. Siblings also become very important when you've got Rahu Gemini. There can be shocks, disturbances connected to them, depending on conjunctions, aspects to this Rahu. But also, they can give you extraordinary benefits sometimes. A very special relationship can develop with one particular sibling. But what grounds this Gemini Rahu, pulls it all together for you, is the opposite sign, Sagittarius. Sometimes foreign lands, foreign cultures, even sometimes foreign spouse are important to you. Travel, definitely. Higher philosophy, religious system, knowledge, and definitely education is of great importance to you when you have Rahu in Gemini. Rahu in the sign of Cancer. Now, actually, Rahu gets a special power, a special even glorification of himself when he's in this sign. What's going on? Well, it's a water sign. First of all, he's an air planet. This is like wind over the sea, like a storm is coming. And where is a storm coming? Into your emotions. And what is your desire? What is a desire which has brought you into this incarnation by this Rahu placement? It is to belong. You want to belong. You want to feel as though you are nurtured and nurturing. There's a real desire to nurture, but to receive nurturing. Most of all, though, to feel that you belong. Belonging to what? Well, belonging anyhow. Basically belonging to country, town, place, job, situation, organization, religious organization, family. Definitely seeking that relationship. Whatever it is, you want to belong. You want that feeling of nurturance and nurturing others. This is what makes you deeply feel satisfied. Rahu gives you this intense desire to belong. But he's Rahu, he's smoke and illusion. He's going to trip you up so many times with this push to belong. So many times you will seek to belong, think you belong, and then the rug gets pulled out under you. This is some of the difficult karmas inherent in this Rahu Cancer situation. Now, doesn't this mean home life as well? Doesn't this mean family life, domesticity? Yes, you seek that as well. But it can be disturbed because Rahu is havoc, confusion, disturbance in any sign, as I've explained beginning of the video. So home life, early home situation can become disturbed, fragmented by this Rahu Cancer placement. There's a very karmic, very intense relationship, though, with the mother or the mother figure. It can be broken, lost, destroyed in extreme circumstances, depending on the other grahas sitting with Rahu here. Or it can be extremely close, extremely intense, but sometimes challenging relationship as well with your mother. You see, Rahu is extreme. Rahu is making your emotion, your expression of emotion extreme. Talk about crying, talk about tears. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to have sorrow, difficulty. Shani is sorrow. Rahu just brings up emotion, brings up situations where you just burst into tears. It can be happy tears, laughter tears, tears well up, or when you have Rahu in this Cancer sign. Talk about cry me a river. This is the sign for that for sure. Rahu here, your emotions are turbulent, always so near to the surface. It's not just frivolous though. Cancer, Rahu Cancer gives incredible empathy, incredible intuition and care for other people. You know what they need and you want to help. You can't stand to see suffering in the world. People suffering, non-human beings suffering. You are pushed to definitely do something. You feel this incredible pull to be active on their behalf. So this might seem excellent for nursing job, counseling job, medicine, all of these things. It can be depending on other aspects in your chart. But sometimes you're just becoming too overwhelmed by it all that you can do what you can, but you don't want to be overwhelmed with this emotion. But either way, you are here to nurture others, care for others. This is something which you deeply desire to do in this lifetime. You can be quite sentimental at times, definitely attached to the past. You always want to know about family history, the past, archaeology, all of these things, because you need to feel connected. As I say, you need to feel as though you belong. Very often you can get into family ancestry, all of these hobbies, but what you're really doing is connecting yourself. That's what you want to feel. But a big trap for this Rahu. Don't forget, Rahu has many temptations. He can tempt you into overindulgence in the past, sentimentalizing over the past, getting lost to the present situation. This is very, very common with this Rahu Cancer. You want to belong so much it's hard to let go. Let go of property, let go of jobs, let go of people. You can be very clingy with this Rahu Cancer as well. A lot of karmas connect you to property issues, home issues, domesticity. You may get an absolutely wonderful property by this Rahu Cancer, depending where he is in your chart. But sometimes everything just falls apart, depending on the aspects here. One thing for sure, it's a big hassle for you. Domesticity, home, property, it's never easy for you dealing with these things. But what keeps it all together for you, keeps you from this chaos of this Rahu Cancer, this emotional overload, basically, it's the opposite sign. Rahu is obsessed with Capricorn. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is karmas. Capricorn is work. It's work, it's doing a job, it's having discipline, order, routine that keeps it all together for you. Definitely having a job where you have to be up certain time, be there, timetable to work to, definite schedule. This brings enormous benefits to you when you have Rahu in Cancer. No matter how emotional, no matter how sensitive you are, certainly you are, Rahu's desire is on order, is on discipline, is on rock solid work routine. You can get an amazing amount of hard work done, accomplish a lot in your life because of Rahu's desire onto Capricorn. This is what keeps you sane, basically. This is what keeps you going. When the going gets tough and you've got Rahu in Cancer, work. Get some tasks done. Discipline yourself. Immediately you feel relaxed. Immediately you will feel happier. Rahu in the sign of Leo. He will act powerfully here simply because he's in a weakened position, not a strong position. See, Rahu is the furthest away from his own home of Aquarius. He feels vulnerable, weak here. He's not happy in the sign of the king, of his enemy, the sun. He feels attacked almost, as though he is being manipulated. What's he going to do? He's going to find some strategy. He's going to become stronger, dealing with immovable situations. So it's not an easy position whatsoever for Rahu when he's in Leo. So because Rahu feels overlooked here, not noticed, far away from home, weak, vulnerable, what will be the desire? The desire is to be strong, to be noticed, to be important, to be the star. He's going to fight to be somebody. So when you've got Rahu Leo, your deepest desire is to be important, to be someone. Think about it. That's the fact. You may think that's a really selfish desire, but it's a very deep need. Now, this doesn't mean that you're always going to be a politician, want to be famous, want to be on the stage, want to be looked at, adored, but you may do. But you are certainly going to seek to be someone who other people look up to. This is your desire. So when this Rahu, you see, is well placed in your chart by house, it makes you very intelligent, very shrewd, very capable to seek opportunity. You're a very opportune person, always seeing the opening opportunity to push yourself forward, never afraid to actually do that. Sometimes you might have a few doubts, think, well, am I being a bit too selfish, a bit too pushy? But still, in the end, you will take the opportunity. It depends totally on the strength of the sun in your chart. Stronger is the sun, you will get help from authority figures, father even sometimes, but people in positions of authority push you forward, help you, support you, and you can become a person of some standing, some importance by this method. You will definitely keep on pushing until you feel that you've finally arrived. That's the thing. But it's an effort because Rahu's in sign of the sun. They are enemies to each other. So you will have to push yourself. Sometimes you have this deep voice in your head saying, you're not good enough. You can't do this. This is generally seen when sun is weakened in your chart especially. But still, Rahu will push you forward. Even if you don't want that promotion, Rahu's going to give you that promotion. Even if you don't want to be standing there doing that presentation, Rahu's going to push you up to the front, make you do it. That sort of situation is very common. And what you generally see with this Rahu Leo is a real care for actual presentation. How you present yourself, how you look, how you dress becomes important. You can become very, very stylish, very, very careful with your sense of presentation because you realize you've got to look good on the outside, maybe to hide some of your fears on the inside. That can also be a fact. Generally, you can have some difficulty, though, with afflictions to this Rahu, with father, with authority figures as well. At some point, they will push you. They will demand a lot from you, and it may become difficult. It could even stress you out. Rahu Leo is a very stressed situation. Watch your health if you have this placement. Rahu can impact you also here through children, through young people, and sometimes through education. One thing for sure, Rahu in Leo means the children in your life are very important, but also very karmic for you. There's a special karma dealing with them. Sometimes there can be difficulty disciplining them, understanding them in your relationship with your own children. There can be some drama happening there, some very uncontrollable situations occasionally. Rahu Leo often disconnects you to your place of birth or creates a very strong connection, but you become estranged from it. Because just like Rahu has gone furthest away from his own sign, Aquarius, you can be forced into foreign situations, foreign land, distant shores, even against your will. Sometimes this can occur with the placement. Many creative people, as I say, have this Rahu Leo, but also many people who end up on the stage in some way, dramatic art, all of these things, actors, actresses. Why? Because, as I say, Rahu's pushing you into the limelight here. This is your biggest desire, to have spotlight on yourself. Don't be afraid to actually move towards these situations. They can be favorable if it is a good house placement, definitely. And because Rahu has to keep pushing himself, assuring himself, growing in his confidence here almost, you do that as well. There's a star quality, actually, a very special factor, an almost aura, which is very attractive about anybody with this Rahu Leo. But despite all of this applause, audience, etc., people appreciating you, looking up to you with time, they will definitely do so. You need to get away from all that. Aquarius pulls you. Rahu is obsessed with his home, obsessed with Aquarius sign, the opposite sign to Leo. So Leo benefits actually bringing people on board. You're a really good team player. You know how to do this many lifetimes. And this actually gets you out of many sticky corners. Asking other people's opinion. Thinking of what is actually good for everybody. Less about yourself. So it's a real balancing act. And it is not easy, because here's the thing that will always happen. People keep on pushing you forward. No matter how you try to include other people, they'll say, no, you take this, you lead, you be responsible, you keep on being pushed forward because this is your desire, past life. You're going to have to balance it, but don't ever be afraid to take responsibility. You were born for this, you have to go with it. A favourable factor, though, is to actually go into aquarium places, or sometimes Leonian places, forests, Leo, Aquarius, mountains. Either way, getting away from the crowd sometimes is really healthy for you, really helpful. You may love to be in these wilderness places, mountainous, forested regions, and actually even living there can be very, very beneficial for you. You gain strength when you get into nature. It relieves you of a lot of this internal pressure which you generally feel with this Leo Rahu placement. When Rahu goes into the sign of Virgo, he's ready to work. I mean, really work hard, really get himself organized, get on top of all the tasks. This is Rahu's office, Multricone sign. So the big desire is for organization. You want to purge yourself of all of these unnecessary burdens you've been carrying many lifetimes. You want a little bit of peace, organization, systematic experience where everything is in its place. This is important to you. It's a very purifying position, Virgo, for any planet. But Rahu is not pure, and that is the big difficulty here. It becomes a quite challenging position, even though Rahu is extremely strong here. That's the thing. It's because things keep on falling apart around you. Crisis situations keep on coming up. Workplace, home, family, relationship. There's always some disintegrating situation, and you're the one who is continually picking up the pieces. This is how it will definitely seem. But nobody sorts out problems better than a person with this Rahu Virgo. You can put things together which are broken, put together people that are broken as well. Medically, it's a very expert position. You have computer skill, technical skill, software skill, anything where you have to have minute details put together, strung together, you can do it. In fact, Rahu Virgo invented computers. It's right up your street. You're definitely expert in every ICT field. Stronger is Mercury in your chart, more inventive, even ingenious sometimes. Certainly, intellectually, it can go to the topmost. For students, very good analytic ability will certainly help you. And sometimes mathematical and definitely technical scientific skill can be there. But you're excellent in digging deep into any situation. Anybody doing any form of research work will get the absolute topmost grade with this Rahu Virgo. As I say, the stronger is Mercury, the better the result. What you have to watch out for is impatience, a nervousness, a general sense that you're never going to pull it all together. It's never going to work. Lack of trust in yourself. Rahu is very strong here, but Virgo is a perfectionist sign, and Rahu is going to just blow this out of all proportion. You need to learn to delegate tasks. That's the thing. You don't want to do that, but that's going to help you. Delegating, letting other people help you. Teamwork, where you actually spread a few tasks around. When you do this, you become happier. Letting go of the need to control everything is going to make things flow so much more easier in your life. You've got to turn to that Ketu Pisces. It's your savior in every situation. And sometimes Rahu Virgo people stifle emotions, stifle feelings, at least publicly do so. And this can definitely impact relationships. People don't really get to know you easily. That's the problem. Daring to open up more, being a bit more vulnerable, open, tender even sometimes. When you do this, you will find incredible bonds come with other people in your life. See, despite the benefits, Rahu in Virgo can make you very stressed at times. Where do you need to go? What do you need to do? You need to be where Ketu is, by the sea, by the ocean, even riverside, wherever there are large bodies of water flowing on the earth. If you go there, you will get rejuvenation. Peace will come to your soul. When Rahu, the factor of chaos and all sorts of temptations, has gone into the romantic and business sign of Libra, he's certainly going to create some drama in your life, that's for sure. You might think Rahu likes to be here because Venus, Rahu act well together. But deep down, Rahu has a little bit of suspicion, a little bit of being ill at ease with Venetian factors, because he was decapitated by Mohini avatar, the most beautiful female form that Vishnu took. So basically, this is where Rahu becomes a little on edge, a little bit suspicious, dealing with the factors of this Libra sign. But despite this, your deep desire taking birth in this incarnation is actually, you should know, to be loved, to be desired, to be liked. This is your deepest need, deepest desire. And this is true whether you are male or female. You simply want to be approved of, loved, hopefully, but certainly you desire to be liked. That's the deep desire. Now, Libra isn't just about relationships, it's about business. And first and foremost, Rahu thrives in this Libra sign through bartering, marketplace factors. He becomes absolutely expert here. You can be fantastic, successful business person of any sort whatsoever, especially when you have Venus well placed as a dispositor of this Rahu in Libra. It can be good also for partnership business-wise or for team playing business-wise. But the thing is, there will always be a little bit of antagonism coming in there. You may be drawn to do things your way, run your own business, but actually very often taking on board other people to help you can be profitable. And very often by cooperation, teamwork, etc., you actually get your very best successes. You can be excellent in diplomatic situations when you have good aspect to Venus. Very, very good as legal person, representative of any sort. And Rahu will expand all of those Venetian factors. You want to present yourself well, look good, fashion, design, all of these things are really strong interest in how you present yourself favorably in the world. This will be there. You want to look good, whether you are male or female. And of course, your number one interest is in the harmony and workability of your relationships, friendships, romance, spousal relationships, all of them. Maintaining harmony, keeping things smooth is important to you, but things keep on going out of control because Rahu is here creating a little bit of havoc in your intimate bonds. The problem here is that Ketu Aries makes you extremely independent, self-motivated, willful, and cooperation isn't easy for you, even though you know you have got to compromise to make relationships work. And sometimes you certainly put a lot of effort into this, pleasing people, compromising, wanting to make things work, whether it's friendships, colleague, work relationships, business partners, family, spouse, whoever it is. You can put a lot of effort because you want to be liked. You want to make it work. And then you will suddenly get totally frustrated, kick up your heels, and off you go. And if Venus should be in any way compromised, there can be a lot of instability, relationship-wise, flings, love affairs, misunderstandings. It all becomes very, very complicated sometimes. More affliction there is to Venus when you have Rahu in Libra. So there certainly will be relationship instability, though, for some time, even business instability, because Rahu is bringing that chaos into this Libra sign of the scales, up and down all the time. But the good news, Mars from Aries is Rahu's desire. Never forget your true sense of self, true courage, true ability to start again from scratch every time. No one is more courageous, more determined to never give up. And that is your deepest inner strength with this Rahu Ketu position. When Rahu's in Scorpio, it's certainly not a strong placement for him. First of all, he's in the sign of Ketu. Equally, Mars and Ketu rule here. Therefore, he's feeling weakened for his material agenda. Generally, he wants to enjoy, but Scorpio is the actual sign of elimination. How can he enjoy when everything is just slipping away? But of course, Rahu is the master strategist. He's got a plan. He's got a way to deal with even the most disturbing situations. Scorpio is underground, hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom. And your desire was to get this. You've been born with this Rahu Scorpio because you desire to unravel the mysteries of life. You want the deep secret, occult knowledge, occult power. That's what you're looking for. So when Rahu's got himself stuck in this underground space, he will study. He will study mysteries of life, occult science, astrology deeply. This is one of the first things you will do. You will be interested in everything which is mysterious, everything which is hidden in life. It's a great position for astrologers, particularly because Mars ruler here is astrology, particularly occult astrology, but also all occult sciences like tarot cards, all the predictive techniques actually, because Scorpio is about prediction. Did you know? Scorpio in that well contains all the information about the past and the future. So you have the ability to predict, to know what's going to happen down the line. It's hugely intuitive here, a most amazing ability. It's a great position for students, researchers in particular. Anybody studying Rahu in Scorpio gives you in-depth perception and ability. But materially speaking, emotionally speaking, it's a very challenging position. Rahu can't remain stable here. He has to keep on turning around, going in the opposite direction. The most tremendous transformation of your whole self, of your whole life, in fact, keep on happening when you're born with this Rahu Scorpio. Now, many people's lives change over time, but nobody goes through these complete transformations, extreme changes, so much as Rahu in Scorpio people. Your job situation, living situation, relationship situation go through these huge ups and downs. You can be alone a long, long time, then you're in a deep relationship. You could be unemployed and then having a top-notch job, or just falling down from that job into a different situation again. It's always going from one situation to another, and it's very extreme. It isn't just little changes, it's big changes. That's what Rahu Scorpio does. Rahu in Scorpio people go through total metamorphosis. I mean totally become different people during this very lifetime. Because Rahu in Scorpio takes you to extremes. One extreme, the other extreme. You can have one political belief and then go into the absolute opposite camp completely because you want to experience that. You're not doing it deliberately. It will inevitably happen. So people never really know you. They will actually feel this. If they were to meet you, say 10, 15 years from now, you'll be a completely different person, completely different. People who turn their whole life around from top to bottom often have this Rahu Scorpio placement. It's not the easiest for relationships, though obviously you have to check many other factors in your chart because of this secretive intensity to you. You don't fully trust other people either. You're always keeping a little bit under your sleeve just to be sure. You see, Mars and Venus in this opposition factor, Scorpio, Taurus, is a Gandanta influence on these nodes. So there can be intensity, emotional manipulation, all sorts of very strange and very, let's say, transformative, certainly, situations happening in your intimate relationships, even in your friendships. You can be possessive, you can be a little bit controlling, even though people won't see it, but it will definitely be there, and you don't like to be cornered. One of the things about Rahu Scorpio is you like to cling on to situations you don't like to let go, because both Scorpio and Taurus are tremendously possessive signs. People who stalk other people or try to find information in secretive ways, all of these things, you're very tempted to all of these undercover factors. You mightn't carry them out, but they're a big temptation for you because you don't want to be without information. You can't stand to be in the dark about anything. And that's why Rahu and Scorpio make good spies, detective, undercover agents, all of these things. It thrills you totally. You're very, very good at finding out information which nobody else can get hold of. You see, really, Rahu doesn't feel in control when he's in Scorpio. That's the other secret. He might act as though he is, but he doesn't feel it. It's a very sensitive, very emotionally turbulent position. There's an inner anger, irritability, definitely inner stress that you are constantly feeling, trying to manipulate everything, change everything, control everything. It's extremely tiring, actually, sometimes, emotionally and psychically, when you have Rahu in Scorpio. You keep on feeling like there's an emergency going on all the time. Every day in your life, you've got to act now, change things, do something. Rahu Scorpio people love to declutter, get rid of stuff, sort out the yard, sort out the house, get out those bin bags. You feel strength, actually, when you start sorting out stuff. But somehow, something is never quite sorted because Rahu is never satisfied, don't forget. That's why deep down I've seen Rahu in Scorpio people are always dissatisfied. Nothing's ever right, nothing's ever sorted. What can you do about this? You need to go towards Ketu and Taurus. That is where you need to be. You need the Venetian conviviality of society. Don't lock yourself away so much in your room, studying or all the rest of it. You need to get out into society. Not a mad social life, but just friendships. Family maybe as well. More than that, the countryside. The peace of the countryside, Taurus, will calm your soul, make you feel refreshed, relaxed, and more in tune with your destiny. When Rahu goes into the sign of Sagittarius, the first thing you must understand, he is in a debilitated state here. Opposite sign, Gemini, is his definite exaltation. So Sagittarius is the debility of Rahu. Now, no need to be afraid of this because actually Rahu is not good in any sign, truly good. Check the beginning of the video if you didn't hear about that, why that is. But Rahu is exposed for who he is. Rahu is cheating, lying, all of the things I've spoken about beginning of the video. This is a sign of Guru, sign of truth. Rahu has gone into the temple, into the holy place. He feels out of place here. He feels as though he's got to do something to correct a situation. Otherwise, he's going to not get his needs met. And what is your desire? Well, the deep desire of Sagittarius in any case is freedom. No boundaries, no borders. Rahu amplifies this a million times, but particularly freedom from authority. You've come here with a big desire to challenge established authority in some form, in some way. You see, Rahu's second aspect around the zodiac is destructive completely. And in this case, when Rahu is in Sagittarius, his second aspect falls on Capricorn. Capricorn is government, rules, regulations, whatever is established traditionally. So Rahu wants to destroy all this completely. You see, Sagittarius is Jupiter Guru's sign. It's about righteous action, good action, moral action. And truly, your desire is to find moral equivalence. You want to be a upstanding moral person. But whose morals do you want to follow? That's the question. Well, I'm sure you know the answer to that, everyone. The answer is your morals. Somebody who has Rahu Sagittarius is going to make their own moral decisions, moral system. You feel this real urge to absolutely do this. So to make these challenges, make these decisions, you're going to have to study. You're going to have to study religions, philosophical systems, many of them, to make the decision which works for you. Do you take any system of belief? Do you pick it apart? What do you truly believe in? This becomes urgent for you, very important. But it isn't just religion, philosophy, it's political system, any form of government authority. You want to question it. You want to challenge it. You want to actually see if it's working in reality. You don't take anything surface value, that's for sure. Depending on your chart as a whole, where is this Jupiter? You may go into many foreign lands, travel far and wide, because Rahu is outside the borders, foreign lands. Sagittarius is foreign places. And Rahu is very inquisitive, curious, loves to learn. So it's all going to come out in this Sagittarius sign. Love of learning, love of research is definitely there. So it's going to be quite helpful for students most of the time. See, Rahu has no patience, though, for academic formality, for deadlines, coursework, essays and stuff. You can just balk at all of this and just walk away from it. You love to learn, but independently. Other areas Rahu Sagittarius love to be really active in. Politics, of course, arguing, debating, and definitely any form of social activism. They absolutely love this. There can be extremist tendencies, though. You see, I've just said earlier on, Rahu in this sign goes to extreme. So especially with affliction to this placement, or just affliction to your Jupiter placement, ruler of this sign, you can become extreme. You can be battling real time for your point of view, because Sagittarius is a sign of the battlefield. So certainly Rahu here is full of fire, full of enthusiasm, battling all the time against systems, trying to change things, agitate. That's all very well, but you don't want that in the living room of your home. You don't want it with your spouse, with your friends. So it's definitely necessary that anyone with this Rahu Sagittarius shares political belief system, religious, philosophical belief system with your intimate people. Spouse, definitely. Friends, definitely. Otherwise, it's just too stressful for words. It's important to actually listen to other people, though. That's the thing. It's definitely important, because Rahu Sagittarius sometimes doesn't even hear what other people are saying. They're so much in their head. However, there can be some unavoidable difficulties with father figure, because Rahu is in this 9th sign, Sagittarius. Sometimes father can be inspirational to you, or you can have many misunderstandings. He may even be absent or be far away from you for some time. Well-placed Rahu here by house, you can be a fantastic legal person. Lawyer, barrister, all of these things. Definitely good for teachers, writers, bloggers, journalists. A fantastic way of communicating with enormous enthusiasm. But once again, don't go over the top. Be a teacher, not a preacher. That's the thing. But nonetheless, you can be enormously charismatic when you are putting forward your ideals. But the big Achilles heel, weak point for Sagittarius Rahu is this. You see the big picture, high ideals, really enthusiastic about them, thinking in the big way. But do you see what's happening right in front of you every day? Do you notice what other people are actually doing around you? Sometimes you miss it completely. Big misunderstandings, relationships, friendships happen because people don't feel fully understood by you personally. This can occur. And even you can become accident prone because of this. Rahu Sagittarius doesn't see what's right in front of them. Accidents can occur. So what helps Rahu Sagittarius pay attention more to what's going on? It's Ketu Gemini, writing lists, being more detail orientated, listening to other people, actually listening to all of the things they are saying. City life helps you, being among other people socially, just having a cup of tea, having a cup of coffee with someone with no agenda, relaxing a little bit more in society. This takes a big weight off your shoulder. See, Rahu Sagittarius can be a little bit cut off sometimes. As I say, up in the ivory tower, you need to come down to earth and just get on with those everyday tasks. This helps you tremendously. It definitely helps you as well to keep in touch with your siblings. You have very strong past karmas with them. Ketu Gemini, you need to keep those relationships flowing. You can be separated from them sometimes, have a lot of difficulty, feel like they are not on your wavelength, but they are very karmically important. If not siblings, friendship. Final thing, Rahu Sagittarius, you do better when you are not alone so much. Living alone can be difficult for you. You might think it's okay, but actually you can become completely divorced from reality. Having a flatmate, friend, relative, child, anybody living with you can be really, really helpful, make you feel much happier. When he's in Capricorn, Rahu, the North Node, is quite happy because he likes earth signs. He likes to be able to get on with the nitty-gritty of life. He's going to have a definite plan, a definite program of accomplishment when he's in this sign. We see Capricorn is a sign of the graveyard, the end of life, old age, where things just fall apart. But Rahu is about desire, is about having material needs met. You can see right away there's a little bit of discrepancy here. It's not such a comfortable placement in one regard. Because frequently in life you will be called upon to build things afresh, renew things, rejuvenate things virtually, because things do fall apart. You have to leave the past behind sometimes, frequently, or with this Rahu Capricorn. You have incredible strength though inside with this position. Incredible strength of mind. That's what we'll see. Your desire with this Rahu is to create structure, to leave behind you something meaningful when you go. Yes, manage, control, all of those things as well. But really, it's about creating lasting structure, something which has lasting value. This is your deepest desire. You see, Rahu and Saturn are not really friends to each other. They might have a certain purpose that they definitely want to accomplish something, but Rahu is about personal desire, ego. Saturn is about service. Saturn is about tradition, government, control. So Rahu wants to rebel. Saturn wants things to stay the same. There is a tension in this placement. To accomplish in this sign Rahu's desires, he will make you very focused sometimes, very, very goal-orientated. Have a goal, make the agenda, work towards it slowly, surely. Rahu's impulsivity can be contained by the hard work that is actually possible when he's in Capricorn. See, Rahu in Capricorn likes the independence of working alone, doing things alone, or generally under own steam. You are systematic, focused, goal-orientated, as I say, and you will accomplish a lot because work is your God. Work is what makes you feel you are happy. Without a task, you don't know what to do with yourself very often. So potential for workaholic tendencies, my goodness, they are definitely here. Unless you have a lot of planets with that Cancer South Node, with that Ketu placement, you will definitely accomplish a lot. But you must see strength position of Saturn definitely, because you see Saturn is a slow planet, karmic planet, a bit of a drag on this Rahu, don't forget, being in Shani sign. So you can take a long time to actually find true direction in life. I've seen this as well. And you certainly know how to get things done. That's the thing. You don't like somebody looking over your shoulder when you're working, though. You need own workspace. Independent work environment suits you down to the ground. So very capable government workers, politicians, leaders, legal people as well. Managers of all sorts have this position. Another factor, though, even though you are so capable, manager, controller, organized, deadlines, perfect, but here's the problem. You worry a lot. You've got a lot of pressure in your mind. Because you see, Rahu is the north node of the moon, carries this moon energy, lunar energy. Moon is the mind. Mind can become depressed, anxious, feeling of inadequacy, self-doubt, well up compulsively sometimes. You shoo it away by starting on the next task. You see, Rahu's full desire, full 100% drishti is onto the sign of Cancer, home, domesticity and family. But working so hard can disturb relationships with your near and dearest very often when you have Rahu in Capricorn. And so generally, male or female with this Rahu Capricorn, you struggle with this home-work balance. Getting it right is never easy for you. As I've been saying all the way along, you're a little bit of a control freak in a way, but you're definitely that with your emotions. You want to have a really strong public image, but it can impact even how you are dealing with your family, occasionally with your spouse sometimes. It's very hard for you to drop your guard, show emotions. Depends on, of course, what the moon is doing in your chart, Saturn is doing, but generally that is a tendency here. What frees you up, of course, is going to those large bodies of water represented by the sign Cancer, particularly oceanside, seaside. Spending time there rejuvenates you mentally, physically, at a very deep soul level. You can let go of a little bit of this rigidity, which is rejuvenating and very helpful when you have Rahu in Capricorn. Now, Rahu in Aquarius, a very strong position. Rahu is in his own sign, but a very difficult position to truly understand. See, Rahu's home is up the mountaintop. Kumbha Aquarius is the mountainous region. Did you know that? These are the secrets in the Vedic system. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to go and live on the top of a mountain, everybody. Don't think that. But it does make you very independent, set apart, a little bit of a rebel. And this is your deepest desire, karmic desire behind this Rahu Aquarius. You want to be independent. And this is why it's difficult to understand Rahu here. You see, Rahu is powerful in his own sign, but he's independent. He's a rebel. This is the actual sign of humanity, working for humanity. Might be obvious. Rahu's going to get involved in all sorts of political, social causes. He may do occasionally, but really what he's going to do is stand apart from the crowd, not be in the crowd so much. In fact, Rahu in Aquarius has a little bit of a dangerous factor to it. It puts you aside from society, makes you a bit detached, makes you a bit separate, therefore, in a way, makes you a little bit vulnerable. Yes, for sure, Rahu in Aquarius can be very, very sociable people, society people, mixing, mingling, have a very busy social life. But are they truly integrated with it? Not really. In some way they are standing aside. They will always go their own way. Sometimes when you have Saturn strong, you can even be a little bit of a loner with this Rahu in Aquarius. Of course, you have to see the whole chart, but Rahu in Aquarius will detach you from emotions quite a lot, make you very, very scientific, very, very rational in your thinking as well, very often. So scientists benefit from this sometimes, researchers, social science people, psychology, sociology, all of these things. You can be a very good counselor, therapist, excellent, because you truly understand people, but from a very detached point of view, scientific, rational point of view, that's the thing. See, again, Rahu is looking at Leo with his full 100% drishti desire. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be noticed. He wants to be fashionable. He wants to stand out a little bit from the crowd. That's the deep desire. See, whatever you're doing for a living, you will do it differently, apart from the crowd. Novel way, something unique will always be there. Dress sense as well. Rahu Aquarius can stand out from the crowd, be very fashionable, but trendy, cutting edge, avant-garde, definitely. You're very detached from society's norms here. You want to have a different lifestyle, alternate lifestyle sometimes, or do something different to your own culture. You very much like to stand aside, stand apart. You feel squashed, almost confined within normative behavior of society sometimes. You've got a very strong will, very strong desire nature. Really, when you want something, you will just go for it. You will leave no stone unturned to fulfill your desires in any area of life virtually when you have Rahu in Aquarius. On the other hand, you're not exactly grounded. This is an earth sign, and Rahu has that Vata value quality as well. Always on edge, always castles in the air. Sometimes you are too idealistic, not grounded, and this can give you quite a few setbacks sometimes. See, Rahu in his own sign can certainly get desires met, though, particularly materialistic desires as well. You can get surprising wealth, success, prominence even from this position. You're very, very loyal, though, to actually people who you get close to, particularly friendship network circles. Like I say, friends mean a lot to you. Society means a lot to you, but still you can be leader in these social circles. Like to stand a little bit aside. Education becomes very important to you because full desire drishti here is on to Leo, 5th house, natural zodiac, which is about education, ruled by the sun. Of course, Sun, Saturn, Sun, Rahu are enemies to each other. This is a thing. Strangely enough, Rahu Aquarius can get into some difficult situations in their relationships sometimes, where there is a complete clash of purpose. Occasionally, this can happen. You often have very karmic factors in your relationships because Leo Ketu draws you to very unusual people, popular people, people who other people also find attractive. You like having somebody to relate to who gives a little bit of that stardust back to you. But Rahu and Aquarius are very loyal, very dedicated, very honest people generally. You give a lot to your relationships as much as you can, and you become disappointed if other people don't give equal back. But you have to remember, Leo is about leadership, is about being the king, being the one in control, and this is something which you will always desire to have. Don't just try to be with somebody important, be somebody important. Rahu in Aquarius has a lot of leadership potential, a lot of strength, a lot of purpose, and you should always try to live up to this. Don't just melt in with the crowd. That's not truly your place. Don't forget that. When Rahu's in Pisces, he's in a very strange position for himself. First of all, he's gone furthest away from his multicorn sign Virgo, furthest from his office. Therefore, he's in a sort of vacation mood. Let's escape from everything. That is the mood of Rahu when he's in Pisces. And this is your profound desire with this Rahu in Pisces. When you were born, you desire to escape, to get away from things, to go in a different direction. It isn't so much rebellion. It's just that you just don't fit into those boxes people want to put you in. There's a real feeling of dissatisfaction with the way things are. You're going in a different direction. Trouble is, it can be a little hazy what that direction is. And Rahu's in the sign of his enemy Jupiter, who shines the light of truth on him. He feels uncomfortable. Ketu sign, liberation sign. But check the beginning of the video. Rahu doesn't want to take anybody towards liberation. So this doesn't mean that you cannot have spiritual pursuits. You will. But here's the thing. You will not do your spiritual practice, be spiritual in any way like people expect you to be. That's another factor. See, Rahu in Pisces can find himself going round in circles. Finding direction, place in life, right job, relationship takes some time. Unless, of course, it's a definite Pisces type of job. Creativity pulls you tremendously. Especially when you have Jupiter strong in your chart, Mercury perhaps strong as well. What a fantastic novelist, what a creative artist of all sorts. You can be pictorial artist, you can be sculptor, you have vision and exacting skill as well. So definitely all of these things, and especially acting. Fantastic for actor, actress here, because you just step into a role. It is you. It becomes you. You don't need to even train to act. It's just so natural. But be cautious about one thing. Rahu in this Pisces sign opens up psychic ability as well. Now, this can be helpful. You just get these deep feelings something's going to happen all the time. Your mind, Rahu is the north node of the moon. Moon is the mind, is very in tune with the astral plane. You can sense things, see things which other people simply cannot. So you naturally even do very well in any metaphysical occult pursuit, tarot cards, predictive techniques of any sort, astrology included. You can make use of them. You can be expert in these fields. You have a natural attraction to those big open vistas, places like the ocean, the sea, definitely wilderness. You desire to be there because you feel this real sense of freedom, lack of restriction in these sort of environments. Some of you may even have a job connected to them occasionally. However, when you have Jupiter afflicted, not strong, malefics afflicting the nodes, either way, north node, south node, Ketu as well, you can be pulled into addictive behaviors very easily. Drugs, drink, food addiction, even sex addiction, any addictive, compulsive behavior comes very easily here because of this need to escape. You want to flow with life, but people keep on putting pressure on you to do something, be something, act according to plan. And this can cause a great pressure in your mind. Mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive tendencies can come very easily if there is affliction to this nodal axis. So what's going to help? What's going to ground you? What's going to pull it all together for you when you have Rahu in this rather confusing position of Pisces? How can you stop wasting time going round in circles? You must go towards Ketu. Go towards Ketu in Virgo. You have amazing technical skill, mechanical skill. People with this Rahu Pisces are often very talented in technicalities such as computer skills, engineering, even anything where you are mending things, putting things together physically. You are incredibly talented. And in any crisis situation, whether it's your life, anybody else's life, you can be amazing if you desire to be, definitely. Do you escape from it or do you come up to the mark? Because you are the person who can find solution, mend things, solve things in the most amazing way. It's a definite talent you should choose to use. Incredible healing skills, doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, psychologists, all of these areas. You know how to put people back together again. You are amazing in all of these fields. And you are psychically connected, even emotionally connected to non-human beings, animals. What a fantastic job for you, working with them, caring for them, rescuing them. You can do amazingly good work in this field. You see, service to others, service to non-humans, humanity, service to the world, anything which you are doing which really gives you purpose, brings you out of your head, out of confusion. One thing you want to avoid, though, is an overdrive to perfectionism. Do the job well, but don't try to be too perfect. This can come into relationships as well. You tend to drift into relationships and sometimes drift out of them because you're so idealistic. Nothing seems to live up to how you expect it to be. Don't expect relationships to be perfect, job to be perfect, anything to be perfect. It's absolutely fine for things to be flawed. Once you understand this, everything comes together for this Rahu in Pisces. Do we need a remedy for Rahu? We all do, all the time, actually, permanently, no matter how he is placed in our chart. But especially, obviously, time period, Mahadasha, Bhukti of this Rahu, we should take a remedy consistently. In addition, potent Rahu transits to our charts, whether it's D1, D9, Rahu aspecting the sun, the moon, particularly in those signs, you must have a remedy. Fasting on Saturday will definitely help. All day Saturday, Shani rules the morning, but Rahu overtakes in the darkness of the night. So Saturday fasting is an overall good remedy. Some restriction on yourself during that day is very helpful during any Rahu problem. It is Jupiter Guru, of course, who will shine the light on Rahu, clarify things for you, certainly. A very simple mantra here is Om Gurave Namah. 12 times a day in the morning, 12 times in the evening. This will clarify your mind. This will help you from not making mistakes when Rahu is clouding your judgment. But the real solution for Rahu will only come by approaching the Supreme, because Vishnu, in the form of Mohini, decapitated Rahu. He alone can control this. The Supreme Lord, in any form, in any religion, must be approached in some way during Rahu periods. The most beneficial mantra during this age in general is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but during Rahu periods it's an absolute necessity. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Singing this mantra, chanting this mantra 108 times a day, just hearing this mantra, and all illusion of Rahu will completely disappear. You will find the right direction. You will make the right choices, have no doubt. Check out the Rahu house positions up on your screen right now. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.